Welcome to episode 4 of Hollywood at Night. I'm your boy, Hollywood AJ. That is the one, the only, Allie. What's
What's
up,
up,
girl?
guys? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Can't complain. Can't complain. What you been doing this past week?
Tired as hell. I've been working all week, actually.
Really?
Kind of like you. Yeah. Had a really, really busy week of work. So
Tell our fan base a little bit about what you do
I
outside of being a true crime podcaster.
a true crime superstar. I do a lot of freelance writing. Right now I'm working on a screenplay. And then I am also writing a book, which I was hoping to have done by the end of the year. Not gonna happen, but it's okay.
Mm,
And then I'm also a realtor, so full-time realtor. And so a lot of real estate stuff happens on the weekends. So that's
nice.
what I was doing that all weekend, and obviously hanging out with my kids and
Hell yeah. That's
eating good
awesome.
food and stuff. What about you?
Oh, I just been it's finals beginning of finals week. Those who don't know, the reason why I haven't been posting a lot on my original channel is because I've been trying to get a freaking college degree in sports media and getting everything all copacetic in that regard as far as getting my assignments in, doing my assignments, not only just doing them but do them correctly to the point where I'm taking a journalism class a la Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, Ariel Helwani. And I got to interview my first UFC fighter today. So,
That's amazing.
excuse me, I don't know what the hell just happened to my voice. One of many to come from
Oh yeah.
today.
Who
So
did
I
you
hope
interview
that
today?
JJ Aldrich. She
That's
was
right.
on the Ultimate Fighter season 23 and from Colorado, currently
Mm-hmm.
active in the UFC, and we got to chop it up a bit. So that will be dropping soon on my main YouTube channel. So shout out to her, JJ Aldridge. Shout out to Rick De La Cruz for getting me started as far as interviewing not only his fighters, but obviously making this happen as well. Big
Mm-hmm.
shout out to him. Without him, I wouldn't be having the itch to go do it. And I want to give a shout out to you, Miss Allie, for you saying that you are a writer and you are writing a screenplay and writing a book. All these Hollywood execs, all these Netflix execs, these Prime execs, these Peacock execs put out these trash ass shows when I
Yeah.
know for a fact that your show would be better than all of them. So
Hell yeah.
they need to put some respect on your name, pick up your scripts, pick up your books because it'll make some magic compared to all the other shit that's put out on
Amen.
freaking Netflix. So just want to give you your flowers for that. So
Amen. And then tell everybody why you're wearing your Broncos gear
oh yeah,
today.
Broncos country. Let's ride. Let's
Mm-hmm.
ride. Mother truckers, freaking ate the cheese today. I'll tell you that. We freaking we ain't mad, we ain't cocky, but we'll ride on your team like a Kawasaki. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
You know what I
God.
mean?
Yes.
That's what we do. Number one seed. The path through the AFC runs through Denver, not Kansas City anymore. Patrick Mahomes, who? Taylor Swift's husband. No, no, no. Let me rephrase that. Travis Kelsey is Taylor Swift's wife.
Sure.
So
Oh my
Taylor's
God.
wife. You know how Conor McGregor was calling Dustin Poirier Jolie's wife. He's
Yep.
Taylor's wife.
Yep.
So we're ushering in the new era of Broncos country. So that is why I'm decked
Yep.
out in my Bronco gear. Got to show some love.
Watch, we're talking all of our shit. We lose. And
Don't
then
say that. Don't say that. You don't have to go that far, Miss
I'm
Allie. You
knocking
don't
on
have.
wood. I'm knocking on
I'm
wood.
knocking on wood too.
Go Broncos. Hell yeah.
Go Broncos, baby. So that's the perfect segue for the reason why people clicked on today's video, and that is the wacky story of one Sharon Moore. But before we get into the nitty gritty, the juicy goosey, I need y'all to hit that subscribe button, comment on what story you want to see us cover next. And if you like what we're doing, if you want to see us do other stuff, please let us know. We will be happy to do so. So without further ado, let's get into it. I
Let's
am
do
going
it.
to share my screen. You guys might see some nudes or something. Not just
Oh,
playing.
God.
And yeah, it's just been a crazy week in that regard. And we are going into the dock. Can you see it, Miss Allie?
I can see it.
Alrighty, let's get into it.
All
I'll let you
right.
take it away.
All right, guys, let's talk about Sharon Moore. And I think that again, so it's not really, I mean, technically a little bit of crime going on in there, a lot of crime going on in there. But we're going to shift a little bit today just because this is such a fascinating story, I think is what we can call it. A little weird, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
weird stuff going on.
It's our
Um,
first like sports true crime story that we're covering.
And we love sports. We are
Mm-hmm.
sports people. Now, again, I was telling AJ before we started recording, love my Broncos, hate the NFL, hate the NFL. It's rigged. But
Is that the main
after
reason why you dislike them?
it's so overproduced now.
Mm.
It's just so like showy. And I'm just like, can I just like watch some men hitting each other?
Yeah,
Like that's
that's.
all I want to see.
I feel like many people's bone to pick about the NFL today would be just how soft it is, how you can't play football from not even 10 years ago, where you hit a guy, it's a big hit, it's like a 50-yard penalty,
Hmm.
$50,000 fine. I think that's many people's bone to pick when it comes to the league, but I don't think you know, people like the showmanship behind it.
Yeah.
And then obviously with the whole Chiefs quote unquote dynasty, people think what you think is that it is rigged at times and that the spreads are covered in certain ways that are somewhat obvious but almost hidden at the same time.
Right. And then all the gambling involved with it now. I mean, like we were talking about last week with the Raiders and Broncos game. Broncos were going to win that game. I mean, they were going to win anyways. It was
Mm-hmm.
like what the last like 2 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
The Raiders are probably the first team in NFL history to kick a game losing field goal.
mhm.
Not a game winning field goal, a game losing field goal.
Exactly. And that's kind of what makes me mad. It's just, so all these like conspiracy theories are coming out about Vegas winning. Vegas
Yeah,
won that and they weren't going to. And then just all of a
essentially.
sudden we get like this stupid ass call on Broncos get a penalty and then they let Vegas win. So it's just stuff like that, which we can definitely deep dive into that if you'd like. I'd love to talk
For
about that.
sure. That's a different topic for a
Yeah.
different day.
Yeah,
So,
but Sharon Moore, oh my gosh, this guy. Surprisingly, when I was doing the research, I did not know this guy was 39. I thought he was way older than he was.
yeah, he looks good for his age, I would
He,
say.
I thought he was like going on his 50s or something. Like I was very surprised.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, he's probably aging because of all the lies he's holding inside. So, um, but he was actually charged, and this is actually from NBC News. So you guys are going to be able to see our notes here. We kind of wanted to show you instead of, screenshotting stuff and putting it on there. But with our specific notes, we like to take clips of news articles. We also like to kind of go a little bit with YouTube, maybe some YouTube videos and stuff like that. So if you guys can see the notes on screen, this is going to be from NBC News specifically. Um, and there have been some updates since we wrote this, but yeah. So he was 39. He was charged with alleged, which is ridiculous. I don't think it's alleged anymore. I think that he was actually
Yeah, I
charged.
don't think so either.
So we don't
Yeah.
have to say alleged to save our butts. Home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering. And this was following his shocking arrest on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, and the termination from one of sports' most prestigious jobs earlier that day. Now, he was arrested because a female caller reported to a 911 dispatcher that Moore was armed with a knife and had been stalking her for months. I want you to kind of keep that in the back of your mind where it says stalking her for months because the timeline's a little weird on this
Hmm.
again. So, which I hate. I wish we can just have like this clear timeline of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Um, Now this was according to police audio. So she could be saying that in the heat of the moment. She could be saying like, I mean, this is happening as soon as she's calling. So
You know what I find a little interesting? And I know it's a law in Michigan, not to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
So there was something else. It was like breaking and entering, or it was like, I'm drawing a blank on what else it was. It was like breaking without entering as well.
It was
And
like, so I think it was because if you go down here, it says break like without like basically she didn't invite him in or something like
Yeah,
that. Like it
he
was
like
like that
forced
type
his
of,
way in. He like
yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Now,
gotcha,
he did
gotcha.
go through a door that was unlocked. Again, if a door is unlocked, you can't just walk into anybody's
That's
apartment or home. So
that's in any state, you know.
I think that was without permission, I think is what it was. So,
Gotcha.
but the audio also indicated that Moore had threatened to harm himself during the exchange, after which he fled on foot before being arrested at a nearby church. So he was actually arrested at a church. He was not arrested at the victim's home.
Hmm.
Which is another thing. So the victim specifically in this is her name is Paige Shiver. Um, this has not been released. It was only released because of, I think, the prosecutor. I think her name is Katie Rezmirsky.
Hmm.
She's the first assistant prosecutor for Washita
Hmm.
County. I can't say that. And so she actually released that during her during the hearing or something like that, whatever they
Hmm.
were having. So she actually hasn't been named specifically,
Hmm.
except then. So I'm almost 100% confident that this is the mistress that
Hmm.
everybody's talking about. So,
Yeah.
um, but this is what happened. And again, this is from NBC News. So Sharon Moore allegedly barged into the woman's. I put Paige Shiver because I believe it's her. He barged through her home through an unlocked door. And here's what we were talking about without permission.
Hmm.
Now, this was on Wednesday, December 10th. So this was just this last Wednesday. We're recording on that this following
Crazy.
Sunday. And then it does say that he grabbed two butter knives and a pair of scissors.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
guy's a freak.
Oof.
What, like two butter knives? Like,
That's not
sorry.
gonna, dude. That's not gonna do anything, like, buddy.
He's
Oh man.
basically he's basically like out of control. Like, this is like a guy who has like lost his mind.
Yeah, for sure. So before this, the big caveat was that Michigan University in Ann Arbor already did their own investigation, which led to his firing. He didn't do
Hmm.
all this crazy shit until after he was already fired. So Michigan was the first people, whether it be the athletic director, whether it be their actual dean of the university, they were the first people to really know and get a true grasp of what was going on
Hmm.
with Sharon Moore, as opposed to the rest of the public, the police department, that later found out everything that we're reading right now. So
Um,
just wanted to put that into context that his motive could possibly be, in my theory, as to why he had this crazy crash out. And I know we like to save our theories for the end, but I
I
think
mean, this
why
whole
he
thing is basically a theory right
it
now.
is it
So,
is
like,
because I think he crashed out essentially because he got ratted out, whether it be by her or somebody else. He got ratted out to the University of Michigan,
mhm.
and maybe Paige did tell the university. We don't know.
She did tell them.
Okay, well there we go.
But they already had three, and this was reported. I just read this somewhere. They had three investigation into Moore's
Three investigations.
misconduct.
Oh my goodness.
So, and that's why I think the timeline is so important. Like so basically the old coach Harbaugh was accepted a job for the LA Chargers in
Mm-hmm.
January of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
But before then, because they were on a game suspension for all the trouble that they got in with the sign stealing, he already put himself in as like the interim head coach
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
some point. And then after the suspension and everything, Harbaugh came back, they won a national championship, and then he left, then Moore took over.
Yes, that's correct. And if you guys want more info on that sign stealing, there's a really good documentary on Netflix. I believe it's straight up called Sign Stealer, made by Untold. It's on
Hmm.
Netflix. Really good, very interesting documentary that details everything. But quintessentially, that is how Sharon Moore got the job at probably one of the most popular college football teams in the country.
It's a hard job to get. That is a hard job to get.
It is.
And so, and that's also, begs another question, like through this whole thing that was happening with Michigan choosing who's going to be the next head coach, um, Moore was also involved with that sign stealing. He wasn't just behind the scenes. Like
Sure.
he deleted texts and stuff like that. Like it was this whole thing. So but they didn't even interview. anybody else for the position. It
No.
was literally just transferred over to Moore.
Well, and a lot of teams do that at all levels. Like if you're in the middle of a season, which obviously Michigan is not, so
Hmm.
I could get to your point where it's like, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Why didn't they interview anybody? But normally in sports, if a team's in the middle of the season, they'll fire a coach. I'll give you another example for college football's sake. Lane Kiffin takes another job at LSU. Well, he gets superseded by the offensive coordinator as the interim head coach. And
Hmm.
then in the offseason, the team has a chance to go out and look for a new head coach. And that's when they interview. If they don't think that the other coaches are fit to lead the organization as the head coach, then they will stick with the interim head coach. But
Hmm.
more than likely, the interim head coach will stay the head coach throughout the end of that season, all the way
Hmm.
into next. So that's not quite as frowned upon.
But the
But
only reason I question,
you can't help but to think that in a school like Michigan is my
right,
point.
right. And I guess that's my only question. So when I was researching for this specific case, which it wasn't too hard to find information, if there were three investigations already going into the misconduct of Moore, was this before he became head coach? Was
Mm,
this, I mean, what was he doing this type of misconduct with everybody when he was the offensive coordinator? Or, I mean, what,
mm,
like the timeline here. So you're talking about
mm-hmm.
what, January 2024 to now December of 2025, three
Yeah,
investigations where nothing was found. When was that done? Because if it was done when he
yeah,
was the offensive coordinator, and then you guys are like, oh, sweep it under the rug, here's the head coach position.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a little iffy.
That is a little iffy. That is a little iffy. I
Yeah.
mean, we could go into the timelines in a second, and
Yeah.
we could finish what happened on December 10th.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're all over the
No,
place.
you're
There's
good. You're
so
good.
much information with this. It's crazy.
Basically, he says he's going to unalive himself in
Yeah.
front of her. And the woman called her lawyer, told Moore she was going to call the police. The victim paid Shiver or Shiver, potato, tomato, in my opinion, had been in a years long relationship with, mind you, this dude was married
Mm.
with
Three
three
kids,
kids.
girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine the example you're setting to your girls with all that.
Oh my gosh.
Now, was she like a trainer at the school, or because when the story first broke, she was a Michigan staffer?
So Paige, we're talking about Paige, correct?
Correct.
So Paige, I'm going to actually bring up her information here because her backstory is a little wild as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she was reportedly 32 years old. I've only seen this reported once. Nobody was really releasing information about her age. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
only reason that this specific newspaper released her age is because people were thinking she was like way younger than him
Mm-hmm.
and like was maybe like, I don't know, doing like I don't know, admin work or just like some basic behind the scenes. And he basically had like power over her.
Mm-hmm.
And so they released her age. So it's just reportedly 32 years old. I haven't been able to specify that.
Mm-hmm.
Now she was Moore's at this before she was fired. She was Moore's executive assistant for a little over a year, and that was from
Mm.
mid to late 2024 through December 2025, obviously before she was fired.
So she did get fired from Michigan.
He fired her. Moore
Oh.
fired her. Yeah.
Oh. Hmm.
So before she was promoted to that position, she was an admin. I read a couple things that she was an admin with the athletic program
Mm-hmm.
since 2021.
Mm.
Now, Paige specifically, and again, she's the victim, guys. She's the victim. We could talk, what they did together. That's a story for another time. He broke into her house. She's the victim in this, okay?
Yeah,
Um,
there was criminal act done.
there was criminal act done to her. Yes. Yes. And so just keep that in the back of your head before we start, casting stones here. Now she does her background specifically, she has deep ties to the sports world. So she is the daughter of a veteran Chicago Bears scout.
Mm.
I did read something about, I think it was her grandfather, but I couldn't find anything to verify it. So I just kind of left that out, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
probably get some more information. Now, while school officials and local authorities have not identified Shiver, whatever her last name is, as the alleged victim or Moore's mistress, The county prosecutor, Katie Rezmirski, provided information during the ex-coach's arraignment Friday, December 12th, which indicated that she's at the center of the scandal. So she actually said Paige Shiver's name during the hearing. Now here's a crazy thing that happened. So
Okay.
here is a little bit of more of the intertwine between her and Moore.
Okay.
So beginning in the 2024 to 25 fiscal year, she received a 55% salary bump, with
Hmm.
her annual pay jumping from 58,000 25 to 90,000, records
Wow.
show. Now she was promoted to the role of executive assistant to the head coach in mid-February of 2024. I can't even
Hmm.
think I wouldn't even be able to. People think that this is some kind of like juicy thing that happened. I don't see
Hmm.
somebody being a head coach's executive assistant for $58,000. I just don't see that happening. So I could chalk it up
What do you
to,
mean? Do you think it should be less or more?
I think it should be more. Do I think it's a
Hmm.
$90,000 a year job? Who am I to say? I don't know. I don't know the type of stuff she
Maybe,
does.
maybe in the NFL. I don't know about college.
I mean, 58,000 in Michigan is like barely a livable wage, and you're
It
assisting
is.
the head coach of a very prestigious school.
Yeah.
Um, so people want to say this was something like, because they were in a relationship that he bumped her up in pay, which could be, that could be
Yeah.
the truth. But she was promoted to the role of executive assistant, I think, when she received this
Mm.
pay grade. So
That
again,
sounds about correct.
timeline's a little fuzzy because we don't know how long they were in a relationship for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, which is insane because what else happened on December 10th was, you know, it was reported that the woman called her lawyer, as I was saying earlier, going back to what happened on December 10th. She was going to call police before he left. The prosecutor said Moore was picked up without incident. Police said the victim, Paige Shiver, had been in a years long relationship with married Michigan head coach Sharon Moore when she allegedly broke it off with him on Monday, December 8th, 2025, according to Katie Rezmirski, first assistant prosecutor for Washita County. Moore allegedly reacted by making numerous phone calls and sending numerous texts before the woman, Paige, eventually presented herself to the University of Michigan and cooperated in some form of investigation. The timeline of the affair, as Mrs. Ali was saying, and Paige's firing is not clear, but she ended the relationship with Moore. He was advised to not work directly with his executive assistant, and instead of a transfer, he fired her. After this decision, Paige came forward with details of their alleged affair, and she probably, what we're thinking, threatened a lawsuit, which I feel like that's important. I didn't know that Sharon fired her to begin
mhm,
with. I feel like that is the straw that broke the camel's back in the sense where, you know, let's just say for the sake of argument, his wife found out about this, which is
mhm.
crazy to say he has a wife.
Yeah.
His wife found out about this, and Sharon probably told Paige, hey, my wife found out about this. I think we need to break this off. And what if Paige was like, well, wait, you told me you were going to break up with her, you were going to divorce her, and we could be together. And then they probably had an argument back and forth. Am I going to leave my wife? Am I not going to leave my wife? Paige was probably threatened to leak all this information out, but then she wouldn't if Sharon would just leave his own wife. And I think
Hmm.
that led to just Sharon being like, you know what? I got to let you go. I got to
Yeah.
let you go. This is all being too much. And with him letting her go, that's when just shit hit the fan. I think that's when she went to the university, and that's when everything just started coming out.
Hmm. Well, here's the thing. So what's that saying? Don't shit where you eat. Like, is that, I think that's the saying where it's basically like you have your work colleagues, you
Mm-hmm.
have your life. Do not mix those two together because this is what happens. I am
Yeah.
not casting any judgments. This is their life. They're both adults, thank God, and they're both doing what they think is
Yeah.
necessary for their life. Um,
At
my
least there
biggest
was
thing
no
though is
Pete
if this is
3DOism going on.
exactly. So that's fine. Like you guys are doing some crazy stuff, but whatever. Here's my thought is okay. you have somebody in power over you, whether you like it or not. He was her boss, okay? It could be chalked up to she was not, he had to stop it. She was not doing these favors anymore outside of the position. And he was like, basically, I don't need you anymore. That is 100% eligible for a lawsuit. You cannot be somebody's boss and fire them if they're not producing sexual acts. So,
Yeah, yeah, that is a lawsuit, but the laws in Michigan seem very weird.
why?
And I just, there's something weird that I
I mean,
feel
Michigan
like
sucks.
they do. And, sorry to any Michigan fans out there. I know Ohio State fans are going to love this video. But I just get this weird feeling from them. Like,
Yeah.
from the law of like,
Hmm.
okay, if she is going to present a lawsuit, well, then does she get a certain amount of jail time? Because at the same time, that's kind of borderline prostitution if she's not living up to the sexual expectations that Sharon Moore has. Like, I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons why she didn't provide a lawsuit in the first place, because she kind of knew, like, okay, what we are doing is like a mutual agreement between us. You know,
Yeah, it is a
if
mutual agreement, but now he fired me because basically Michigan told him to not, he's not to have any
right,
contact
yeah,
with her.
okay,
I mean, let's put it into perspective from her side of things, okay?
mm-hmm,
You are in a relationship with a married man. Not great. Nope. I wouldn't say that you are, queen of morals over here. But at the same time, job-wise, like the legality of having a job and having somebody who's over you that you call a boss,
mm-hmm,
um, I, she's been there since 2021, and then she's
crazy.
just let go without reason. That's not okay. It's not okay. And I
No,
think
I
that's what she
agree,
brought to the Michigan board. I think she said,
100%.
here are the receipts. Here's what's happening. I was a willing participant and he let me go for no reason. So if you guys don't rectify this, I'm going to go ahead and threaten a lawsuit because
Yeah,
I have basis, basically.
yeah, I'm with you there. I think that's when all hell broke loose,
Hmm.
and that's when Michigan did their investigation, and they were probably like, well, what else is this guy doing? If he's having sexual relations with his assistant, could he be doing other shadier things? You know,
I don't know,
it's
like
all
sign stealing. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
literally, literally. We won't go down that rabbit hole tonight though, because that will really knock everyone's dick in the dirt if you really want to get into it. But
Okay, but so before everybody thinks I'm just such a Michigan hater, which I'm a Georgia fan and I'm a Notre Dame fan, okay? So
mm,
Notre Dame and Michigan, crazy rivals. I also hate Ohio State though for Michigan people out there.
mm.
So if we can agree on one thing.
All right.
But I'm not just a Michigan hater because I watched that documentary that you were talking about, the Untold documentary, and
Mm-hmm,
I was
mm-hmm.
like, okay, maybe what was his name? Stallions. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, Connor Stallions.
honestly, I was like, okay, I'm kind of on his side a little bit, and I was just like, no. And then I and then I would watch something, I was like, no, I think that they what did they do was wrong, but everybody
He,
does it, and I was like,
well,
kind of going back and forth.
not only is it criminal, but it also brings the nuance of a true super fan doing whatever it takes for their
Hmm.
team to win. You know,
Literally a super
he
fan.
he even said he would work for free. Like, name a person that would do that, which is insane.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about. I have so many opinions about that. So many opinions. But I mean, for Michigan, again, having three investigations into Moore's misconduct already. So just so this is like in perspective. His investigations were before any of this happened.
Really?
Yeah. So is this the fourth? Or what number are we on now?
Well, let's talk about that. And I'm going to put this on the screen, but I'm going to read it off my phone. And this coincides with the timeline that you're talking about as far as when did this happen. We only know what happened on December 8th so far.
Hmm.
And it's crazy how all that got out right away. So new findings came about him messaging other females, OnlyFans models. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier,
It
It
does.
freaking does. So, ex-Michigan coach Sharon Moore reportedly offered OnlyFans models season tickets in exchange for sexual acts during a rager at a Houston hotel hours after winning the national championship game in 2024. OnlyFans model Mia Soretti, any of you gooners in the chat might know who she is. A Wolverine superfan, obviously, previously claimed that the married father of three would send her messages on the platform. Revealed Moore requested a meeting with her after his team won the Natty at NRG Stadium, which is in Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Texans. Sharon was offering me and two other OnlyFans models, girls, season tickets in exchange for a foursome, Soretti told Outkick. I declined because I'm already rich and can buy my own tickets, which of course you are.
Queen.
Soretti Soretti previously claimed that Moore sent her messages on the platform during a halftime game. Okay, y'all ready for this? Soretti previously claimed that Moore sent her messages on the platform during halftime of the game against Michigan's arch rival Ohio State on November 29th, 2025. The Wolverines were dog walked by the Buckeyes in that game 27-9.
Was this when he was the offensive coordinator, or was
This
this
is when
when?
he was the head coach.
Oh my
So when
God.
he was trying to link up for the foursome, that's when he was the offensive coordinator. That was when they won the national championship.
Yeah.
But when he was texting her again, he was the head coach when they lost that game on November 29th.
Ugh, the
So
audacity.
there's a little bit of the timeline you were looking for.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on all that I just read?
I mean, what a pig. Okay, like let's set aside what you're doing to your wife and family for a second, but your team just got hosed by your biggest rival, and you couldn't give two shits about that. Like that is
And
like
he's yeah,
literally what
he's
you're getting paid for is to give two shits
yeah.
about that. Like,
You gotta learn, you gotta know the playbook. You gotta know the team and what their offensive and defensive schemes are, the practice schedule,
yeah,
the everything, players' mindsets. You got to get your team ready for the game. And
yeah.
he's over here just like, you know, I have plans tonight for me and my wiener. Like, bud, like after the game, that shit can wait. Like, if you have your fantasies, whatever, cool. You know, it ain't no one's business what you do at your bedtime.
They're like, we
But at
all
the
do,
same
but we have a game to win, right?
that's my point is there's a time and place. There is
It's,
a time and place.
you know what it sounds like? It really sounds like this was kind of his way of dealing with stress. Not even gonna lie. I feel like he had an insanely stressful job. He had insanely
Sure,
big shoes to fill with Harbaugh leaving.
sure.
And then coming straight off of a win for the national championship, like this dude was probably stressed out of his mind. This sounds like how he dealt with it and not in a healthy way. It really sounds like doing that after the loss, like he's just like, oh my God, I got to talk to somebody. I got to flirt with somebody. Like
Not
it's
only that, but
wild.
you know, granted she has her bag, you
Yeah.
know, but you know he's talking to like, you know, you have a. My point is, okay, if he's a single man, it probably wouldn't be as frowned upon, you know, like because he's a single man, he could text whoever the hell he wants, even if
Yeah.
it's an only fan star. But that's what you have a wife for, buddy. Like, you mean to tell me you can't live out your fantasies with your wife? You
Wait, so
know,
are you telling me that this conversation with the OnlyFans model happened during halftime?
during halftime of the
So,
Ohio State game.
so his players are getting destroyed on the field. And
Yes,
what is he doing? Like where's coach? Like where is he?
he's probably just like, "Hey guys, yeah, hey, you know, good first half. Yeah,
He's like, I gotta go in this office real
we
fast. He
should
closes
score.
the.
Yeah, we should score more. Just give me a sec. Assistant coach, go ahead." And then yeah, he just goes in his office. Like, shh.
It's so crazy to think about. And I think I talked about this on the last video. I would absolutely hate my personal life out there for everybody to see. I cannot even imagine how embarrassing that is. But if you have just like an ounce of like dignity, where it's just like, okay, I am this big head honcho. Like I am the head coach of Michigan football. I cannot be doing this stuff. I am under a microscope. Like there has to be some sensibility there.
But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
One side it's what you just explained. On the other side, he's using that power to try and get what he wants, and that is in the sexual aspects of life. I agree 100% with what you say. That was his reason to cope with stress. Some people it's gambling, some people it's alcohol, some people it's drugs, some people it's sex. He is in the sex category of that.
He also
And
like just could not live without the attention. It seemed, honestly, it seems like he was just attention hungry and he was just like, if
sure,
I can get the attention of these young, beautiful women, like I can do anything.
when you make millions of dollars like that, 100%.
Oh my God, if
100%.
I had millions of dollars, nobody would ever see me again. What is wrong with people? Like,
But to your point, he probably did not think this would get out. You know how you just said you don't want your private life to be out there. He probably came to an agreement with Paige Shiver, and they
yeah.
probably agreed, hey, we could just fuck at the office and keep it there, But other than
Ugh,
that, you ain't gonna tell my wife shit. I ain't gonna
yeah.
tell whoever you start dating shit.
Yeah.
This is just gonna be what's going down in Ann Arbor, Michigan for who knows how long. You know what I
You
mean?
don't you don't know how long. Like if we look back at even just the
No.
beginning of this story, she said on the 911 call. So it was in the heat of the moment when all of this was going down. She said he's been stalking me for months. What does that mean? When did this relationship end? She was fired on what, Monday the 8th?
20, yeah, the 8th, 2025. And then that's when well, okay. So you said University of Michigan was already investigating them at that point, investigating Sharon Moore at that point
Yeah.
before December 8th.
Yeah.
So she probably could have been fired a month ago, 2 months
No,
ago.
she was fired on Monday.
So
It
your question is how long, like when did the relationship start?
Yeah, because it says that she's okay, so her exact words were he's been stalking me for months.
What does stalking mean though? Like,
So so the
no, I
so
mean, I know what it means, but like,
yeah.
I know
Let
what
me
it means.
explain to you.
I know what it means, but in the grand scheme of things, and who knows if this will ever come out, and how do I want to say this without sounding crazy? And I'm not defending Sharon. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to look at both sides of the coin. What if they were supposed to meet up and she just ghosted him and he's just texting her, blowing her up, blowing her up, blowing her up? Is that what she means by
Mm,
stalking? Or is he like actively going to her house, looking into the window,
yeah.
Night Stalker style? And, because if
Yeah.
it's that, then okay, you kind of have a leg to stand on. But if you're just out here saying, oh, yeah, we're meeting Monday at 12 in the freaking whatever hall,
Yeah.
and then you're not there, give the man blue balls. Well, yeah, he's gonna freaking do what he did to you. You know,
You gotta stop.
I'm just keeping it 100.
I it's so wild to think about. Like I think the reason this case blew up so hard is because it's just like who lives this kind of life? You know what I mean? Like that kind of drama, like you see that just that kind of like drama on TV. Like there's money
Yeah,
involved,
yeah,
there's power involved, there's huge names involved. It's you don't know what's happening. And I don't
yeah.
and I don't mean to be flippant about it. Like I keep laughing about this, but it's just kind of like if you don't laugh, you cry type of thing. Like it's
Sure,
so bizarre. Like,
sure. And I think, like you said, it's prevalent for a timeline. When did these two start hooking up?
yeah.
We know when she was terminated. We know when he was terminated, and we know when all that crazy shit went down. But again, how long was this happening? I
And
think that's
so
key.
And we can go back to when she was even promoted. So it says that she was promoted, what, 2024?
Yeah,
So what she
2020.
was, so what I'm thinking is that they were messing around, to be vague.
Mm-hmm.
They were messing around before he became the head coach
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because she was, okay, so she was with the team since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
She got promoted as soon as he became, it sounds like as soon as he became the head coach, because I think it was February of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got this bump in pay like
Mm-hmm.
immediately after being
Yeah.
so I think it was before. I think it was when he was offensive coordinator.
Yeah. I
Is
think
what
so too. So this probably lasted a year, almost two.
Yeah. I mean, we'll
That's
probably find
insane.
out, honestly. We'll probably
I
find
think
all
so
this out.
too. Now, drop the biggest bombshell on us, Mrs. Alley, because you told me something off air that I did not know, and that's this man got bailed out.
Yeah, he bailed himself out. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up here. Excuse me,
Yeah,
because
no,
I
go
want
ahead.
you guys to know the exact um cost of him to get bailed out. I think it was $25,000. Hold on.
Which to a
Um,
coach
is
of
nothing.
his level at the school that he's at, yeah, it's nothing. It's $25, $250.
That's it. I mean, you can give me $25,000 any day. I'll take
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. Drop something on the floor for me. I'll pick it up.
I'm gonna slide into his DMs. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
Um,
my god.
so it does say that yes, former University of Michigan head football coach Jerome Moore posted a $25,000 bond and was released from Washington County Jail on Friday, December 12th.
Oh
So
man.
I think the timeline of this week, I think we already know it. So Monday, Paige was fired.
Monday, Page was
And
fired
Paige was
by
fired
Sharon Moore allegedly.
allegedly, but she also went to the Michigan board on Monday
Yes. Yes.
because what was it? Wednesday. So he's
Wednesday is
going,
when everything happened. That's when everybody found out what happened. That's when he
yeah.
went on his crash out episode,
Mhm.
and that's when he got detained.
So what I think I read is that he was texting and calling her, and she was what I'm thinking is that she was ignoring, obviously, because she was just like, hey, it's already done. Like I already went and talked to them. And then Wednesday he shows up because she's not answering or communicating with him. Wednesday shows up at her apartment, does all this stuff, gets arrested at a church Wednesday night, and then is released 2 days later, Friday. So that's the timeline. So we're talking
Yeah.
December 10th, Monday, Wednesday, December 12th, or sorry, Monday, December 10th. Am I
8th.
right? 8th, sorry.
8th.
Monday, December 8th, Wednesday, December 10th, Friday, December 12th. So
All within a
it
week.
all this happened this week. Like we're recording on Sunday. All this happened this week.
And the only other bit of timeline we have is from the OnlyFans model saying how he messaged her trying to link up in
Hmm
2024. There's
Which I have opinions about that. Why are you coming out right
tell me,
now?
tell me,
Why come out right now?
because money,
Yeah.
you know,
Nobody cares
she
about anybody.
the story is hot. No, nobody does. No, it's every man or woman for themselves out
Yeah.
there. When the story's hot and people love gossip, people love drama,
hmm
people love controversy. That's why I don't know why people's content that promotes positivity, I don't even know how that's even famous
I
when
know.
everybody lives off of drama. To
Yeah.
me, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So the fact that this story came out, she's probably like, oh shit, this dude was just in my DMs. Let me promote myself and my business by saying he was talking to me.
So everybody's subscribing to OnlyFans, like, oh, well, if she was hot enough for Sharon Moore, then I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to her stuff. So
Exactly.
yeah. All right.
Exactly.
That's queen behavior right there. I get it, girl. I get it, girl.
That's
Get your
marketing.
paper.
That's marketing 101.
There you
That
go.
shit they don't teach you at a university.
You get one chance in your lifetime. You got to take
Yes.
it.
Yes.
It's again, I'm not casting judgments. I don't
No.
live these people's lives. I don't know what's happening, but
My thing with
Jesus.
him showing up to her house and threatening to unalive himself, I think, and there's no word on if his wife is divorcing him or not. I'm sure that will come out.
Hmm
But I think he was just, again, I'm not defending him. I think he was just a defeated man at that point.
Yeah.
He's everything is crumbling down before his eyes.
Well, if you also think about it, they had and there were rumors that he was already going to get fired on the basis of not performing.
Yeah,
But I
because
think
they were
Michigan's
defending
having,
national champs.
yeah. So I think that these investigations happened. There was rumors that he was going to get let go based off of performance. So you cannot let somebody go based off performance if they're performing. So he kept performing this year. So I mean, they had ugly wins, but they were wins. I
Yeah,
mean, they won by what, three, I think, on one of the
yeah.
games.
No, they had a lot of close wins, and then when
Yeah.
they lost pretty bad.
So you can't, I
So
mean, you can't really just let him go based off of that, but he had a
no.
14 million, let that sink in, $14 million buyout.
Mm,
How
mm.
that he just shit away.
Yeah, he's not getting that.
He's
He's not
not
getting
getting
that.
that. Like, okay, so like put it into perspective. So you decided to do all of this because you went legit crazy in your head and you lost $14 million. You lost your family, you lost your girls. Like, I for what?
hmm
For what?
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, and I'm gonna get a little personal on my behalf
Okay.
because I've never really told anybody this story, and I'm not gonna go full details. I will just say I was in a position of, am I gonna throw my life away for something, or am I just gonna walk away because there's too much at stake?
Hmm.
And people are like, oh, you don't know what's going through a person's mind unless you're actually in that situation. And that's 100% true. But in my situation, I had a chance to crash out. I had a chance to really possibly go to jail. But I just knew that I'd rather be out here doing whatever it is that God has planned for me than be locked up in four walls. And that doesn't mean I was going to go catch a body,
Hmm.
but it just means, like, with the way the law works these days, if you freaking slash somebody's tires,
Yeah,
that's
don't
on
do
your
that.
record. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. My point is, you always have a choice,
Hmm.
and you just need to walk away. I walked away that night. Nothing happened. Did it hurt? Yes. Did I want to do
Hmm.
something? Yes. But I knew that there's a lot more to live for out here than there will ever be for in there.
Yeah.
And I thankfully did that. He was a defeated man. He was a guy that saw everything crumble down. He's seen money slip away. He's seen what, I'm sure he read what the internet is saying about him. How can you
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
He was at rock bottom, and he felt the only way to get out of that was doing what we just read to you. That's
Hmm.
not the right answer. I'm not defending him. I'm just telling you what I think his state of mind was.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nobody got hurt.
True.
And, you know, that's the only really criminal thing that he did. Of course, what he did was criminal in the confines of a university.
Hmm.
But when it comes to this, it's almost like, aside from what he did on December 10th, he just got in trouble for wanting to fornicate, you
Yeah.
know? So
Again, like we don't know the type of pressure these positions hold. I could never imagine. I probably will never know what that feels like. So
it is
again,
interesting.
not letting him off the hook at all because I think that you need to be, if you're going to be in the very best of the best of positions, you need to be the very best of the best person. And I think we're seeing a lack
Absolutely.
of that in today's world. So,
But look at other examples like Robert Kraft. I know he's an owner, but having billions of dollars,
right.
you're still under a microscope.
Oh yeah.
He's out trying to get sexual acts from massage parlors.
Wait,
Shannon,
this is the guy that owns the Broncos, right?
he owns the Patriots.
Patriots, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. Shannon Sharp said a quote that I thought was insane about the situation. He was like, the eyes have 1,000 eyes. The night has 1,000 eyes, but some nights they have 1,002 because someone always sees you.
Mm,
And I'm just like,
preach.
yeah, it wasn't even Sunday and he was preaching.
Yeah.
So,
He has a preacher's voice too.
oh, for sure, for sure. So I don't know. It will be interesting to see what will happen next. What do you think will happen next?
Um, well, it's hard to, I mean, if he has a great defense attorney, which he probably will have, I think he's on probation right now. Obviously, he
Like
posted
house
bail.
arrest, huh?
Yeah, I think he's on house arrest. I mean, he has a an ankle monitor. I don't know the next. I think that we're going to be hearing from the victim. I think that's one of the things we'll probably be able to uncover here in a second. Because again, it's all been this is the alleged victim. So I
Mm-hmm.
think she might come out and say something, maybe write a letter, something of the
Mm-hmm.
sort.
Maybe post on social media. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that if she threatened a lawsuit, though, I think that Michigan's going to have a payout with her to not take this to court. I forgot what they call that.
Probably
Um, Basically like a where you don't take it to court, you do
a
everything
settlement.
a settlement type of thing. Yeah.
Probably because
Or arbitration or
if
something
he
like that.
because if he got bailed out based off of these criminal acts, you know, criminal is kind of basically out the window.
Hmm. I mean, these are
I
felony charges.
but if he got bailed out, like, is there any word on if there's going to be a trial? Like, could he face prison time?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Here's the thing. We were talking about this our last episode too. Like, oh, if there is a slap on the wrist for this, the guy is dangerous. I know he didn't hurt anybody now, but that boy has like a hot head. Like
Yeah,
that he is not in his right mind. I mean, if you just look at the videos and pictures of him during the hearing, I mean, he looks crazy.
he looks scary.
He looks
No,
very, very scary. I couldn't even
he
imagine. Like he's huge. He's a big dude. I can't even imagine that guy breaking into my house and
no.
being a little with threatening to kill me, kill himself. I
Mm.
couldn't even imagine that.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
So
And
I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to see probably a settlement from Michigan with the victim.
hmm
I think we're going to see if he's going to be prosecuted.
mm.
Again, I don't really know how that really works. I don't know what I know that you have a set date, and so being bonded out basically
That
just
doesn't mean
means
you're home free.
no, that just means that instead of you waiting for your trial in prison or jail, you are now at home. So it's still the
Gotcha,
same waiting game.
gotcha.
Yeah.
My theory, I think we'll get more of an investigation to the other three that we were talking about, to the
I
other
hope
two
so.
that we were talking about. I think what I find most shocking though is the fact how all this came out like bam, 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 bam.
Right.
And it was quick. It was like, holy shit, you just explained the timeline of what happened in the past week. I guess my point is like, how come we don't see that for like the David and Celeste case? How
Like,
come
'cause
we
that
don't?
one's just so slow moving.
Yes. How come we
Yeah,
don't see this for other cases? Albeit nobody got murdered
true.
here, but like if all this came out, there's still more that needs to come out. I just want that same type of process to happen for other cases. That's my only real bone to pick with that. But like I said, I think more will come out, more victims will come out. Um, and who
I mean,
knows?
unless these three investigations just had to do with Paige and their relationship, I don't see how there wouldn't be any more women that come forward, honestly.
Yeah, but again, I feel like this might be a little controversial, but I feel like what he did breaking into her house, yes, that's criminal. Threatened to unalive her, threatening to
Hmm.
unalive himself, yes, that's criminal. But how is yeah, I'm answering my own question in the sense I am because you're just fornicating with somebody you work with. I know every other jobs have standards and procedures and codes and ethics
Hmm.
on no fornicating with your coworkers, no fornicating with the janitor
Yeah,
for the sake of argument, you know.
right.
So I'm answering my own goddamn question. So it's insane. It's crazy.
I mean, we'll keep you guys updated because well, before we went live right now, I did a quick little Google search to see if there's any updates, and there hasn't been really any new information released except that he is out of on bond. So
Which I didn't know. I
yeah,
think probably because there's a full slate of games today
yeah,
that superseded the attention of this, and they might release all that on like
yeah.
Wednesday or something, Tuesday or something. But
That's okay. I love the drama, so I
me
gotcha.
too, me too. I'm on the edge of my seat with this.
Yeah, this one's
You,
a wild one.
you got anything else to add before we hit the
No,
road?
only that sorry for laughing. I'm sorry. This was just such a wild ride. I had a really interesting time researching, going down and deep into the rabbit hole of Michigan. So we'll keep you guys posted on that video too, because I want to talk about that. So,
Sounds
um,
good.
but no, I think that we're gonna see hopefully something soon. Maybe some updates tomorrow.
We definitely covered everything, and we
Yeah.
covered what's out there. We covered, what at first though, I'll end on this. I thought it was a student when they
Mm.
said Michigan staffer. I'm like, it has to be a student, you know.
I think
But
that's
and
why they
I,
came out with the age though. I really
I do
do.
too. I thought it
Yeah.
was like some 22-year-old Michigan student,
Yeah.
and I mean, thankfully it's not.
No, they're both full-grown adults just messing around.
I think that's why I'm just like, okay, well, it's a little wishy-washy for me because again, like, there's no grape allegations, there's
Yeah.
no SA allegations.
Thank
I
God.
don't, I don't, yeah, thank God. But this is like
Yeah.
my word for the night, I guess. Like, only fornicating going on, you
Yeah.
know. And I guess this just goes to the adage, like, if and this might be a little dark tying it into the Chris Watts situation, but when he had his mistress on the side,
Hmm.
he felt his only way out was unaliving his family like a true scum of the earth type person.
The worst.
When he easily could have gotten a divorce
Hmm.
from his ex-wife, being like, I found somebody else. I'll see the kids on this day, and this day, but I'm living my life with her.
Yeah.
So I think Sharon owed his wife that,
Yeah.
especially if he was, again, we don't know how long they were in a relationship, but we assume it was a year, almost two.
Hmm.
And I just felt he owed his wife at least that, you
Yeah,
know.
nobody's talking about her. I mean, or his
What if
kids.
she comes
That's
out like and says some crazy shit, you know?
I can't even imagine what she's going through right
Mm.
now. I'm glad she's not talking to anybody. Think just get away. Like take
Yeah,
those kids and
I think we're not going to hear from her for like the holidays, you
no.
know.
That might be another update we'll get is that she's filing for divorce.
I say like early 2026, she'll probably
Yeah.
come out with something, or there will be news about
Yeah.
her. So,
She's not getting any of that 14 mil though. Sorry, girl. That 14 mil's gone. Your husband's a piece.
neither of Sarone's bitches are getting that money, you know. So he's
So
really
that's why
down
that
in the
girl was like,
dumps.
subscribe to my OnlyFans.
She's
Do it.
like, y'all need to forget about him. I'm the new shit.
Whatever, get that money, no judgments.
No, yeah, no, not at all, not at all. Do you, girl? Do
Do
you?
you?
So,
If it's legal, it's legal.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yes.
this was fun, Mrs.
It
Allie.
was
I
fun.
appreciate it greatly, y'all. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment on what you think we should cover next, what you want to hear us talk about next, what you want to see us do next. We read all the comments and we will for sure do them, whatever it is, within legal limits,
Yeah.
obviously. And yeah, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, Miss Allie.
Bye. Oh, I want the Michigan and Ohio State fans to start a comment war in our comment section.
Please do.
Have
Please
fun.
do. We will be the referees. We will be the
I
referees.
don't like either of you, so.
I like Ohio State, but Colorado with Coach Prime is my number one team.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah.
all right.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Take care. Be
Peace
safe.
out.
We love y'all. We're out.